Hi, today is Friday, April 24th, 2020. For our reading lesson today, you're going to need a pencil, a notebook, piece of paper, and your crowns. Let's read our objective. Say, I can retell the beginning, middle, and end of a story by drawing pictures that shows what happens first, next, and last. That's our Kindergarten Reading Literature Standard 2.2. So before we begin, let's start with some phonics. We're going to get to know what is a blend with this video.
Jack Cartman! Kids Music Channel!
What is a blend? What is a blend? Let's learn together. What is a blend? A blend is two letters that begin words, but each letter sound can be heard. Like B says B, R says R. Blend them together and you get brr. Like in brain, brave, bring, breeze. A blend is two letters that begin words, but each letter sound can be heard. Like C says K, R says R. Blend them together and you get crr. Like in cracker, crayon, crop, cream. A blend is two letters that begin words, but each letter sound can be heard. Like D says D, R says R. Blend them together and you get drr. Like in dragon, dream, dress, drum. A blend is two letters that begin words, but each letter sound can be heard. Like F says F, R says R. Blend them together and you get fur. Like in freeze, fresh, frog, fruit. What is a blend? What is a blend? Let's learn together. What is a blend?
Good, boys and girls. If you want to know more about blends, you can find a blend ABC chart in your Writer's Workshop folder. Okay, today we're going to reread Peter's Chair from Monday, and while we're reading, we're going to stop and ask and answer questions, because as good readers, we don't just keep going on if something doesn't make sense. And today we're practicing retelling the beginning, middle, and end of the story. So let's jump over to the story and listen as I read to you. Peter stretched as high as he could. There! His tall building was finished. Crash! Down it came. Shh! Called his mother. You'll have to play more quietly. Remember, we have a new baby in the house. So boys and girls, I'm going to stop and I'm going to think about what's happening here at the beginning. Peter's playing by himself, and he was building a tower, and then his dog ran through it, and it made a loud crashing noise. And Mom said, shh, there's a new baby. Let's keep reading. Peter looked into his sister Susie's room. His mother was fussing around the cradle. That's my cradle, he thought, and they painted it pink. Boys and girls, think if you've had a new baby brother or sister in your house. I know lots of you have. And think about how you might feel if your parents used something that was yours and painted it pink or blue or a different color for the new baby. You might be feeling a little left out and a little sad. Hi, Peter, said his father. Would you like to help paint Sister's high chair? It's my high chair, whispered Peter. He saw his crib and muttered, My crib? It's painted pink too. Not far away stood his old chair. They didn't paint that yet, Peter shouted. He picked it up and ran to his room. So boys and girls, now we're in the middle of the story and we're going to think about what's going on. Peter's seeing all sorts of things around the house that are getting painted pink that were once his and are going to his little sister now. Let's find out what else happens. Let's run away, Willie, he said. Peter filled a shopping bag with cookies and dog biscuits. We'll take my blue chair, my toy crocodile, and the picture of me when I was a baby. Willie got his bone. Stop and think. Who's Willie? Good job. I heard friends say Willie is the dog. They went outside and stood in front of his house. This is a good place, said Peter. He arranged his things very nicely and decided to sit in his chair for a while. Boys and girls, we're still in the middle of the story. Look at the picture and think about what's going on. All right, I've heard boys and girls saying that now Peter is upset that they're using the old things and painting them pink. So he decided to kind of run away from home and go outside. He brought his favorite things like his dog Willie, and a picture from when he was a baby, and his blue chair and pet toy crocodile. But he couldn't fit in the chair. He was too big. Boys and girls, do you sleep in a cradle now? Do you sit in a little baby chair? Do you sit in a high chair? Do you still sleep in a crib? No, because you're bigger now. We outgrow those things. His mother came to the window and called, "Won't you come back to us, Peter dear? We have something very special for lunch." Peter and Willie made believe that they didn't hear, but Peter got an idea. Soon his mother saw sights that Peter was home. "That rascal is hiding behind the curtain," she said happily. "Why do we think he's behind the curtain?" "You see his shoes." She moved the curtain away, but he wasn't there. "Here I am," shouted Peter. Peter sat in a grown-up chair. His father sat next to him. "Daddy," said Peter, let's paint the little chair pink for Susie." Boys and girls, do you think that Peter has realized that he's too big for his old things? I think so too. He couldn't fit in that chair, and I think it made him realize that he is too big for baby items. And they did. We are now at the end of the story, boys and girls. What happened at the very end? Good. Peter got on board and helped his dad paint the little blue chair pink for his sister. The end. All right, boys and girls, it's my turn to retell the beginning of the story. And we're going to use this graphic that we've used a lot in the classroom. It's called our retelling train. Say beginning, middle, and end. Good. So the beginning of the story is what happens first. So I have some pictures to share with you. We're going to look at these pictures, identify what's in each picture, and then I'll show you how I pick what happens first. In this picture, we see Peter and his dog outside, and he's with his little blue chair and some of his favorite things. In this picture, we see Peter surprising Mom and shouting, "Here I am!" In this picture, we see Dad and Peter painting the little chair pink. And then in this picture, we see Willie crashing down Peter's tower and making a loud noise. And in this picture, we see Mom looking over at Sister in the pink cradle that used to be Peter's. So boys and girls, I'm going to be thinking really hard about which one of these pictures happened first. I know that you didn't go outside first. I know he didn't surprise his mom first. I know at the beginning they didn't paint that little chair. I know at the very beginning Mom wasn't looking in at Susie. Oh, at the beginning the dog crashed down Peter's tower making a loud boom. So I'm going to move that to the first box. And out loud I'm going to retell the beginning of the story. So listen to me. At first, or in the beginning, Peter builds a tower that his dog crashes down and Mom yells to be shh, quiet so she doesn't wake the baby. Now I need to draw a picture to show the beginning of the story. So I'm going to take a notebook paper and draw 3 lines and label beginning, middle, and end. I'll show you that now. Okay, so here's my paper. I labeled beginning, middle, and end with 3 boxes to draw my pictures. And I already picked that first beginning picture, so here's what I drew. Here's Peter building a tower. Alright, let's think about what happens next in the middle. Here's our pictures. Next, was Peter outside? Was he hiding from Mom? Was he painting a chair with his dad? Or was Mom looking in at the baby? Stop and think. You're going to do this one with me, boys and girls. You're right! Mom was looking in at the baby, and Peter was thinking to himself, that used to be my cradle, but now they painted it pink. Then what happened next? Oh, boys and girls, you remember that Peter got so upset he leaves the house with his dog Willie and his favorite things, and he goes outside. So we're going to put these pictures in the middle. And then with your crayons and your notebook, let's draw a picture to show what happened in the middle of the story. Okay, I'm going to show you my picture of the middle of the story. I'll make it bigger for you to see. So in the middle, I have Peter and his dog Willie outside. I can tell they're outside because the window to their house is right here. And they got so upset that Mom and Dad were painting everything pink that used to be his. They decided to go outside. Alright, let's move on, boys and girls. Now it's your turn. I want you to think about what happens at the very end of the story, and whatever happened, you're going to draw that picture here in your last box, and send that picture to me either on Class Dojo, Parent Square, or text. And I will show you the final 2 pictures that we have. This picture of Peter shouting, "Here I am," or this picture of Dad and Peter painting his little chair pink for sister. Whichever picture of these 2 you think happened at the very end, draw it in the last box. And then you can use this paper to help you retell this story to someone at home. Saying in the beginning, Peter built a tower and it crashed down. In the middle, Peter was so upset that they were taking all of his things and painting them pink for his sister. And then draw what happened at the end and retell it to someone at home. Boys and girls, this was a big lesson. It took a lot of patience. I'm so proud of you and how hard you've been working since we began online school. I'm really so proud of everyone that continues to send in their work. After you're done with this, send it in to me. After you do math, then just take a break and have a really great weekend. And then do something fun that you like to do, like go for a walk with your family, or play games, watch TV, whatever that is. Just have a really good weekend. Bye, boys and girls.